On this weekend, when our scriptures talk about marriage and divorce, this story. A guy on vacation rents an expensive sports car and heads out on the highway for an evening drive. He decides to open it up a bit and hits the gas. Now, at 85 miles an hour, he sees flashing red and blue lights behind him. In a moment of dumb, guy-like thinking, as I like to describe it, he says to himself, there's no way they can catch this baby. So he hits the gas harder. The needle jumps quickly to 90, 100, 110, 120, and the police lights are still right on his tail, and he realizes, bad idea, and pulls over. The police officer comes up to him and says, I've had a tough shift, and this is my last pullover. I don't feel like more paperwork. So if you have a reason for speeding that I haven't heard before, you can go. The guy says, Officer, last week my wife ran off with a policeman, and I was just terrified that you were trying to bring her back. The officer waves, says, have a nice night, and heads back to his car. Marriage is really tough, which is perhaps one of the reasons we try to find humor about it. The work of every committed relationship is extraordinarily hard. All relationships weave together a mixture of joy and pain, tension and peace, loneliness and laughter, love and letting go. It does not always work. So, to any who are contemplating getting married, please know that the vocation of marriage is truly one of the most beautiful, holy, and extraordinarily difficult things on the planet. Please do the hard work of relationship now. And know that we will do anything here that we could to help support you along that journey. To you who are single, this reminder: your life does not begin the day you find someone, should that even be your call. Please know that your life matters now. You don't have to be a couple to be a part of who we are. The world needs you and your unique goodness now. To those who are married, you have our prayers and support on this truly crucial and beautiful and difficult calling. Most married people tell me that marriage is harder than they ever imagined it would be. There is support and coaching available to navigate the challenges, and I'm always so proud of and so grateful for those who talk to a counselor or who find ways to do the hard work to help their relationships stay alive and healthy. To all who are married, thank you for all the ways that you choose to love in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. No one does it perfectly, but your incredibly hard work is worth it. To you who are divorced or separated, please know that you are profoundly loved by God right now and that you have great dignity. We pray for peace and healing in your heart, and as much as possible between you and your ex. we welcome, love, and honor you here. To those who are widowed, we stand with you in all that life asks of you now. One thing to remind yourself, even though it might not always feel this way, you are not a fifth wheel at events. You are part of us. We need you. You are not alone. To repeat what I said earlier, the work of every committed relationship is extraordinarily hard. All relationships weave together a mixture of joy and pain, tension and peace, loneliness and laughter, love and letting go. It does not always work, and sometimes it does. Let me end with a second story told to me some 40 years ago when I was a baby priest. The story comes from a surgeon, a skilled surgeon with a heart that saw the human condition clearly. He once shared with me something he wrote shortly after a delicate operation. He had written, "I stand by the bed where a young woman lies, her face post-operative, her mouth twisted in palsy, clownish. A tiny twig of the facial nerve, the one to the muscles of her mouth, had to be severed. She will be thus from now on. As surgeon, I had followed with religious fervor the curve of her flesh. I promise you that. Nevertheless, to remove the tumor from her cheek, I had cut the little nerve. Her young husband is in the room. He sits on the opposite side of the bed, and together they seem to be lost in the evening lamplight, isolated from me, private. Who are they? I ask myself. He and this wry mouth I have made, who gaze at and touch each other so gently. The young woman asked me, will my mouth always be like this? Yes, I tell her, it will. It is because the nerve was cut. She nods and is silent. But the young man smiles. I like it, he says. It's kind of cute. All at once I understand and lower my gaze. One is not bold in an encounter with the presence of God. Unmindful, he bends to kiss her crooked mouth. An eye so close, I can see how he twists his own lips to accommodate to hers, to show her that their kiss still works. I hold my breath and let the wonder in, to accommodate to hers, to accommodate to his. It strikes me that we would each do well to tape that to our refrigerator, for that is the work of relationship, to accommodate to hers, to accommodate to his.